Good morning, CSL family. Come on in from the lobby. And happy Mother's Day. We're gonna all stand up and do our opening song, which is Spirit is in This Place. So let's all make a joyful noise. Here we go.
Good morning, CSL. Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale Center for Spiritual Living, better known as Science of Mind. My name is Eric Shelley. I am your presider and a licensed prayer practitioner here at our center. Let me start off by saying, Happy Mother's Day. Let us individually and collectively acknowledge, recognize, and honor all the mothers that are present here today by asking all mothers, if you choose, to please stand so we as the center can thank you. I also want to thank you all for your recent prayers for my recent surgery last month on April 22nd at Broward Health. That morning, prior to being wheeled back to the operating room, I was visually shown and spiritually reminded that goodness prevails and often presents itself as a bridge between the seen and the unseen. In short, divine synchronicity was flowing through me and around me that morning. Now, as always, thank you all. Thank you. Now, as always, if for any reason you are unable to attend with us in person, there are 3 ways you can connect to our spiritual community online, and they are as follows: Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cslftl.org. Just hit the live stream tab. I also want to welcome all of our first-time guests. Please know that you are sincerely recognized, welcomed, truly honored, and please know we all would absolutely love it if you decided to come back and check us out further for a second or additional visits. We have many exciting things happening here at CSL Fort Lauderdale, and here's just a brief highlight of some of our events. First, please join us for our consistent offerings here at CSL. To inquire for specific dates and times, please visit our website and app, sign up for our newsletter, check with guest services, or check out our newly remodeled flyer wall. And I want to thank Meredith, too, specifically for her work on that renovated wall. Our consistent offerings include Reiki Circle, the Spiritual Living Circle, the Book Club, and the Conscious Impact Leader of South Florida. Next, a new class starts on Monday, June 1st that will run for 4 weeks and is entitled Living the Four Agreements. Living the Four Agreements. Through guided reflection, practical tools, and multimedia experience, we will collectively explore how to embody these timeless principles into real-life situations. Each week focuses on integrating the agreements into your thoughts, actions, and relationships, while developing the awareness to recognize when you are in or when you are out of alignment. This course is for anyone ready to deepen self-awareness and create meaningful changes for exclusive support directly to you. The cost is $99. Please see the teachers, Reverend Tina or JC, for more information. Next, CSL will have a table at Pride this year, which is on Saturday, June 20th. We are looking for shift coverage at the table. The total shift is from 3 to 11 p.m. If Spirit sparks an interest in you, offering an hour or two and being a presence and representation of CSL at Pride, please see Jem Wood, our operations manager, or Reverend Tina. Next, with heartfelt love and sadness, I am here today to officially acknowledge, recognize, and announce the unexpected recent physical passing of Ken Michael. Ken is truly an extraordinary spiritual being, an integral, active part of our CSL family, a long-standing CSL board member, and teacher. Personally, Ken is an influential, kind soul. His extreme close friendship of mine greatly impacted my life. I'll briefly elaborate. I first met Ken as I entered the original center across from Storks for my very first visit, arriving 20 minutes late, cut off jeans, tank top, a mess. A mess. Serving as an usher, then, Ken greeted me with a smile, kindness, and open arms. And that is exactly what I left with, which is why I chose to come back. That's why, as a newcomer, it's very important to have a very positive experience, because when you walk out that door, you will remember the last 20 minutes of what you were when you were here. So when you see somebody standing as a newcomer and you're a member, I implore you, take a second out and say hello to them. It doesn't only take a second. Do it. It'll make a difference. Maybe not for you, but for them. So that's my suggestion for the day on that point. And also, future upcoming celebration of life planning to be determined. Lastly, Bill, if you would please be so kind to come up and make the final announcement.
Good morning, CSL family, both here in our presence and online. Rev Tina has asked me to take a second of your time today just because we have our Arts at CSL next offering next week, 3 p.m. on Sunday, a week from today, the Stars concert. And I just wanted to have a second to share with you. We all know the power of music and what music does to our soul and our being. And particularly to share an experience, a group that has, with this kind of notoriety, first off, I think it's a real feather in Rev Tina's cap that she was able to get Stars to be coming to our stage in the first place. A group of this size that produces music with such beautiful harmonic presence is truly life-changing. John and I had the opportunity to go up a couple Christmases ago to Orlando to see a very well-known harmonic group. And the energy in that room was incomparable. So I really want you to think twice. 3 p.m. is only one show. We have tickets that are being sold, so there is room, but we'll make room. So, because I really encourage each and every one of us in our CSL community to attend, because it does change our spirit. And also because it's a reminder that the whole premise of Arts at CSL is an opportunity to bring to our membership experiences that speak individually to us, that can change us, that can touch us in our own unique and special ways. And it's our way of creating a dynamic mechanism for you to support CSL. Beyond the sit-down dinners and the requests for donations. These are unique ways, gifts we see, gifts for you to participate and experience entertainment, music, live theater as an opportunity to lift us in our daily experience and change how we feel and how we interact with each other. So I do encourage you, don't let it go by. Don't wake up 2 weeks from now and go, oh, the Stars concert was 3 o'clock last week. I hear those stories all too often, and it always breaks my heart a little bit when I look someone in the face and go, oh yeah, oh gosh, I forgot. Right? So don't forget, and remember, we'll be out at the table. One other thing, we're still looking for a couple volunteers, so this is another way. You get to see the concert for free. We're looking for 3 more volunteers. If that fits into your schedule, please see me at the table on the way out. You can sign up for a ticket, or you can sign up to volunteer. All right, so we thank you so much for your attention today. And a real shout out again to Rev Tina for bringing Stars to us. Thank you. All right.
Bill, thank you again. For more information on the above events, please visit guest services out in the lobby after the service and/or visit our website, app, Facebook, or Instagram pages. Here at CSL, we have an intention statement that simply says who we are and how we want to show up and be present in this world. So please rise up and join me in standing, and we will verbally honor our teaching together as one. Afterward, please greet your neighbor with a hello, a handshake, a fist bump, a hug, a smile, or a namaste, or whatever you want. So CSL, please tell our newcomers specifically, who are we? We are an abundant, loving, and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
Well, good morning, everyone. The energy feels good in the room today. I felt bad calling you to center and calling you back to your seats. Very much community feeling in the room, very much a family. And a family that practices together continues to grow and expand together. So we have the opportunity to not only express outwardly our love and appreciation for each other, our welcoming energy, but we get to now turn that energy within. And to know that that is the wellspring, that is the source, that is the supply, that is the way and the where and the how that this love continues to eternally flow through our spirits. And so we get to access that together on this day. So I invite you to turn off all your noisemakers as we go within for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of sitting in the stillness. Hal will underscore for 5, and then we'll be in the silence for 5. And Dr. Ferdinand Cabrera will lead us in our meditation today.
Good morning, everyone. How wonderful it is to come together to practice what we know. So I invite you all to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let's go within and leave everything behind. Let's take advantage of the collective energy of love and oneness that is in this room, right here, right now. grateful I am to be here in this moment, to be able to feel the energy that is in the room, that is inspired and guided by the one presence and power of Spirit, the Spirit that is within us, that guides, directs, and protects us in every way, that allows us to feel our emotions, to express them, knowing that we always have the power, the wisdom that that Spirit provides. I bless Florentina today in her message, and I invite you all to be open and receptive to receive the inspiration, the motivation that is expressed through her by the power of the God within us. So it's in this truth that we live and have our way. It's in this message that we inspire others and we show who we are, that is a reflection of God, the Spirit of the universe, that is choosing us to be that expression, that perfect expression in our lives, in our community, and with our families. So it is with great gratitude that I release this truth through the law, that perfect medium that always say yes to all our declarations are believed, because it's the way it works and it's the way we believe. And so it is.
So unusual, it's frightening. You see right through the mess inside me, and you call me out to pull me in, tell me I can start again. I don't need to keep on fighting. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous, great to be known. I'm fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. It's so like you to keep pursuing. It's so like me to go astray. Oh, but you got my heart with your truth, a kind of love that's bulletproof, and I surrender to your kindness. Oh, I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous, great to be known. I'm fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous, great to be known. I'm fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known It's so unusual, it's frightening. I'm fully known and loved by you.
I always love a song surprise. I don't know that song, and I love that song. Fully known and loved by you. You know, I first started listening, I was like, okay, I started thinking about my relationships in my life and, you know, where I'm fully known and loved. And then it easily and quickly changed to the divine, right? The presence, the universe, life itself, God, if you will. The ever-eternal loving presence, that which has created everything. That loving presence fully knows us. We cannot hide ourselves from the divine, and fully loves us. Fully known and loved by life itself. Do you feel that? Do you believe that? Yeah. That's why I like that song. Yeah, in our Infinite You as the Universe class, Judith teaches it. We were talking about that, you know, we're reading this thing called You, and it's like a love letter from Ernest Holmes, from the divine, right? The truth, the reality of life that is ever expressing, that is so loving and so present. And we even talked about, you know, reframing love songs. Someone brought it up in class. You know, no longer is it a relationship, but it's a love song with the divine. So I invite you to take that on this week. So we're continuing in our theme for the month. So I see I didn't scare you all off. You're here again. Hey. The theme is divine doubt. So for those who weren't here last week, and the reason we're diving into divine doubt is because each of us in our own ways, we have questions. There's uncertainty. There's a longing to understand. And maybe doubt isn't always welcomed or expressed or acknowledged or cultivated, right? We are in these teachings that we know that we get to know the truth. But what if I can't know the truth? What about those moments in life? And so this is the opportunity for us to really get really gentle with ourselves and with others. That diving into this divine doubt is an invitation that we get to lean into these places within our own being and be honest and vulnerable and authentic with ourselves, of course, first and foremost, and then the way in which we show up in the world. Because in order, right, to be in our relationships and be known and fully loved, we cannot hide anything. Right? If there's any sense of withhold in a relationship, then there is not that free flowing of that divine circulation and energy coming through. So if I'm in withhold, if I'm withholding a doubt because of a judgment I have for speaking an experience out loud, then those that are around me can't even support me. And those that I'm in a relationship with, I'm not really truly revealing who and what I am. So we started last week talking about self-doubt. Because, you know, we just meditated together, right? We did 10 minutes, and thank you. I started that practice when I first took on as the senior minister, and I know it's uncomfortable for some people. My mom, I talked to her last week, and she was like, I don't know about this meditation if I'm doing it right. And I said, well, what are you doing? And she told me, and I was like, you're doing it right. There's no wrong way to meditate. But here's where it aligns so perfectly with self-doubt, is because everything that we go through in our life, all of the thoughts, all of the emotions, all the experience that we are constantly cultivating, the mind that's always running, it's all happening within our own being. Like I said, so if I'm withholding myself in relationship, I can't withhold myself within myself. I know myself. I'm the one who knows myself so fully and completely. And to be aware that there's moments of self-doubt. There's a quote by Joe Vitale that says this: if you don't have self-doubt and fear when you pursue a dream, then you haven't dreamed big enough. It's there, it's present, it's not something to hide. Again, as I talked last week, those individuals that seem most confident in life, those people that seem successful, you don't see the moments of doubt. You see the moments of success. You see, like I said last week, the highlight reel. You see the good that's happened. But those individuals that have the most confidence, those individuals who set those highest goals that makes them move through self-doubt and fear, the difference between a person who has that and a person that is staying small because of the doubt and fear that exists is just that one person walked through and the other person didn't. So that's available to us. And it's okay. It's okay to have self-doubt. You know, 1 year, so May 1st is 1 year that I've been senior minister. And, you know, thank you. I mean, this is a topic that we're talking about, so I'm going to say, which you're probably not surprised of, but I don't know how many ministers stand up there and say, I have doubt, right? I stepped into this position. I had a dream that was so big. I didn't even know the dream was big until I landed in its shoes, and I thought, whoop, those don't fit. Those are too big for me. And what do I do with that? I continue to practice. I continue to be present. I continue to have the individuals in my own circle that I can lean into, saying, this is really difficult in this moment. I don't know if I can step through. I don't know if I can know the truth in this moment because it seems so big. It's so much responsibility. Can I do it? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes for me. The answer is yes for you. I can do it because I'm there. I can do it because it's an experience that I'm having. And Ernest Holmes says that we cannot even desire something, can't even come up as a desire in our own mental being without it being possible. It is already a possibility. That's why it landed in us. And if it landed in us, it is for us. And we get to walk through it. And we grow and expand from that. So this week, our talk title, is called Debuting the Doubting Self. So debuting, unveiling, revealing, coming into visibility, right? Making my South Florida debut. We are putting it out there. What if we allowed this doubting self to step fully into the light? Not that we're going to be dominated and weighed down by this experience, but it's a welcome part of our own humanity, of our own collective humanity. Because wholeness is not wholeness is, we know that, right? It's a principle. Wholeness is, we are whole, perfect, and complete. We are whole beings. But here's the thing. I may not have an experience of wholeness because I have divided or denied an expression of myself. Wholeness is when every part of me is welcomed into my awareness. And that is true wholeness. That is true compassion. I had a wonderful couple of dinners with some friends last week, and it was great. You know, we get to hold each other in those moments of celebration, in those moments of doubt, in those moments of, here, this is what I'm moving through. Can you hold the space and the knowingness that I can walk through this? Can you be the safe space that I can reveal myself so completely that I'm not weighed down by it? So at the end of dinner, I felt lighter, I felt lifted, and all I did was speak my experience out loud. I debuted my doubt. And what I want you to know is that to have this level of doubt, to even debut this doubt, to actually put it out there, that it's something that happens with all individuals who are on this spiritual path. Deepest mystics have questioned. Even the prophets have wrestled. Even Jesus cried out in uncertainty. Even the enlightened souls experience seasons where the path isn't always clear. And what I want you to know is that our doubt is what brought us into this space. Our doubt is what brought us into this seeking and searching for this truth, for this awareness, for this community. Because you know what? Maybe, I don't know, it was like, this is my story, maybe it's something like yours, because we're all one. You know, I was told that I should do X, Y, and Z, and then if I accomplished all these things, that I would be happy. Well, I did what I was told to do, and I found a level of unhappiness when I reached that final destination point. So what did that mean? So then I started doubting that that's true, doubting the individuals that told me, doubting the system in which I lived. But all of that was good. Inquiry, questioning, searching, a new path, a new teaching, a new adventure, a new opportunity, a new way to grow and expand and to be the truth of who I am, because ultimately, listen, I'm not one of those million and billionaires out there, but I know that we see the stories. We see the individuals who have reached a level of fame, a level of notoriety, a level of financial freedom that is beyond, our awareness of how you could even spend all that money in a lifetime, right? And these individuals are unhappy. I know, I've heard the stories before, and when I was in financial struggle, it didn't comfort me. But it's interesting, isn't it? It's not, like I said last week, the destination, it's the journey. We are constantly going through this, not for what we receive from the world. And yes, we get to be successful. Yes, we get to have all of our needs met because they are met. And we get to realize and become aware that as we come into a united state of our own consciousness, first and foremost, then we are the open and available and receptive space and place for that full flow of spirit to come through, and all successes will be achieved from that point. But it's not from the point where I'm looking out and saying, I don't have that. It's from the awareness to know that I have everything I need, and so do you. So debuting the Doubting Self, it's a perfect time to honor mothers, our mothers. Happy Mother's Day. Beautiful beings who have been that vessel for new life to be born and birthed through you. We want to honor all expressions. Those, of course, who have birthed a child, those individuals who have lost a child, those who long to mother, those who mother communities, those who nurture healing, those who create safety, wisdom, and compassion in the world, and those who are out there creating new ideas. This is the maternal spirit. This is the mothering presence. This is the divine feminine, that we get to acknowledge these mighty, mighty women who have said yes to being this on the planet, and to acknowledge that they are a representation of that which is available to all of us as well. But I want to let you know that mothers enter motherhood in doubt. And if they're lucky, they have a circle of friends, they have individuals, they have family where they can share this doubt with. But these are some of the doubts of mothers, and maybe you can see where some of those things might be similar for you. Am I enough? Will I know what to do? Can I protect that which I love? Will this new life change me completely? Yes. Birthing something new always asks us to release something that is no longer serving, something that is no longer us. And we're either consciously doing it or it's done to us by nature itself. Transformation is beautiful and it's disorienting. I would go so far to say, maybe be so bold to say, that maybe a caterpillar doubts when it's going into the cocoon phase. So that in-between space, it's uncomfortable. And Howard Thurman talks often and wrote often about this inner life, this courage that it requires us to face ourselves honestly acknowledging that doubt is often present when we are growing. Doubt is often the threshold of a level of consciousness to another. And what I want you to know is that faith isn't gone. In those moments of doubting, right? We're in spiritual community, and you're like, am I spiritual? Am I spiritual enough? How can I doubt if I'm spiritual? Well, I'm here to tell you that faith isn't gone when there is doubt. That sometimes the greatest faith is underneath the greatest doubt. The seed of my faith is in my doubts. And so we get to start lifting and looking and lifting and looking. We get to start looking underneath. We get to start being present to the undesirable emotions, to be with it and to see that it loses its power when I look at it with the pure awareness. And to know that we can't just cover it up. Can't just cover up doubt. I mean, you can, but it's uncomfortable. And you eventually reach a point in your life where the frustration, the unhappiness, the anxiety, the depression, the overwhelm is there because we're not dealing, we're not whole, we're a divided self. And we're walking around in this world with a bunch of other divided selves, and we're bumping up against each other, and it hurts, and it's ugly, and it's uncomfortable. Ernest Holmes says we get to take the time to weed out the unbelief, right? The doubt. I love that example of weeding because just like everything, sorry to say, us as humanity in the time and frame we live in, we want that quick fix, right? So to actually pick out the weeds is work. To see, to pay attention, to look, and see that that's a weed. We can see how tricky those weeds can be because they can start to look like the grass. They can start to look like the plants that they're growing into. The real quick fix, right, is what? Roundup. Yikes. So you just kill everything. No judgment, maybe a little for those who use Roundup. I'm willing to have a session with you after this. Come see me. We are here to pay attention. We're here to see. We're here to do the work of taking it out by the roots. What is the cause? Let's not be afraid of the cause, because once we discover the cause, we won't see the effect. At least there. It may come in another form. Ernest Holmes says this: it may be necessary to cultivate your garden, to uproot the weeds and straighten out the rows, planting new seeds, new ideas, broader visions, and deeper realizations of life. He goes on to say that new aspirations must be bedded here, fertilized with fervor of hope, the conviction of faith, the beauty of wholeness, and the quietness of peace. Watch your garden carefully. Guard it patiently. Wait for the new harvest. We get to constantly weed. We get to constantly pay attention. What's going on in my consciousness? And that we get to plant these new seeds of deeper realizations. But again, we're not just covering it up. We're not planting seeds in our garden where there's weeds, right, Sadiqa? Right? We don't plant where there's weeds. We till the land. We pull out that which is going to get in the way. But we have to see it's there first. We have to acknowledge its presence first. You know, when let's see, in September, it'll be 7 years that we've lived in this house. We moved to Florida in June of 2019. And then we moved into our house in September of 2019. And we moved into our house, and then there was this, a mango tree was planted. And we're like, great, we always wanted fruit trees. But it was like it was bigger than a stick, but it was a really thin, kind of scrawny little mango tree. And every year we were looking. Well, I wonder when it'll get mangoes. I wonder when it'll get mangoes. I wonder when it'll get mangoes. And JC's great. He's constantly watering. He's constantly weeding. He's constantly taking care of all the plants. And yesterday when I was on the phone with Gary, where are you at? Hey, Gary. I was on the phone with Gary, and I was talking, and I got distracted because JC was pointing at something, and I'm like, I'm on the phone. And he's like, I'm on the phone. And I had to get up, and I was like, sorry, Gary, I have to get up and look. And there's 5 mangoes on the tree. Patiently planting new seeds, new ideas, broader visions, deeper realizations of life. Watch your garden carefully, guard it patiently, wait for your new harvest because it's coming. This work works. This is your harvest. You are the garden. Faith flourishes when we live with unanswered questions and even possibly unrealized or resolved, tensions. It flourishes. It's not really what we're taught, right? We're not really taught that faith flourishes in those moments of unanswered. But what is faith? Faith is the discovery. faith is something that is revealed to us personally through the experience, through walking through something. It cannot be given. I mean, you can take it on, but when the doubt comes up, I'm going to let you know that it's not going to work. It's not going to work just to plaster the affirmation over. It's not going to work just to say, this is what's true if I'm walking through and I'm not acknowledging that I have doubt here. It flourishes in those moments because that is where we get the confidence. That's where the courage comes from. That's where the walking through happens. And as we walk through it, we realize the very things that we know to be true, that we are one with the one power, that all of that the divine is, that we have the gifts, we have the talents, we have the skills, that we are guided, guarded, directed, and protected always. And it's only me, it's only we that get in our own way. So why all this talk? Well, this week's talk is just to explain that this is about being really aware of this divine doubt in communities and how we can hold the space as community for each other. Because a community that cannot hold doubt cannot hold real transformation. And we are here for transformation, are we not? Yes. So we're here to hold that. I'm here to hold that for you. We're here to hold that for each other. This is a safe space. We get to share our personal doubts. We get to hold space for this question. We know that in this process, this very thing, that healing is possible. And that instead of trying to fix immediately, that we get to simply sit beside somebody with compassion. That maternal energy, that nurturing energy. We get to hold the space to nurture the emergence, because sometimes people don't need the answer first. They need safety first, because the answer is within. And if this within is not safe because they've been divided amongst themselves, they will not receive the answer, and they will forever go out in the world seeking to find their value, their worth, their truth, their experience, their faith outside of themselves, when it's only and always within. So I talked quickly about spiritual bypass last week, and I'm going to quickly talk about it again. But spiritual bypass, it was a word that was termed in 1980s by John Wellwood. He was a psychologist, and he said it looks like conflict, avoidance, and drag. So it's spiritual ideas and practices that we put on those uncomfortable parts of ourselves, that we don't give the time, we don't give the acknowledgement, we don't give the space and the place to be with those experiences. So we're trying to achieve a premature transcendence. Maybe we can have a moment of high resolve, but it's not lasting. It's not everlasting, because we're trying to cover it up, like I said. There's certain signs of spiritual bypass, like toxic positivity. You may know those people. You see it a lot in not to badmouth Christian churches. But, everyone's saying, I'm blessed, but they're going through the most difficult part in their life. And yes, it's good to know that we are always blessed, but we don't always have to be so toxically positive all the time. We can say, I'm struggling right now. I don't know what I believe anymore. I'm afraid of the next step. Another sign of spiritual bypass is anger phobia, right? The idea that no one can get angry. How's that working out in the world for us, huh? Not so good. We have feelings, we have anger. And when it comes back to ourselves, when we are complete in our own being, that there is no trigger, there is no push, there is no wound within us, that when we sit in a space, when an individual is moved to an emotion and anger represents itself, we're not triggered. So that's our work. Premature forgiveness is another spiritual bypass. And I believe in forgiveness. I totally do. But we're not just here to gloss over and be like, I forgive them, and not deal with the painful experience of the emotions. Some level of spiritual superiority is spiritual bypass, and some level of excessive detachment. So what I love about this thing, this opportunity to hold this sacred space, to have this sacred space in community, what we get to do is we get to practice together. We get to come to classes together, because let me tell you, in those classes, people are authentic. They are vulnerable. They are real. They're doing the real work, y'all, in that classroom. They are sharing parts of themselves that maybe they don't share with their other friends. We're holding that sacred space, and transformation is happening. So that's where you should be. Just saying. But what we do teach here is spiritual mind treatment. Hands if you know what a spiritual mind treatment is. Okay? Hands if you know what an argumentative spiritual mind treatment is. Huh? Less hands, right? Not talked about so much. But what I love about this is as soon as we are aware of our doubts, we have the opportunity to do our work, right? To move into spiritual practice, to do the spiritual mind treatment. But if we're in doubt, are we just sugarcoating our doubt? Yeah, possibly. And what I want to tell you is that there's an argumentative treatment. There is this process that we do all of the same steps. We recognize the presence. We recognize this infinite intelligence. We unify. We know that we're one with it. We've been born from it. And then that is the space where we do our realizations. And then as we start doing our realizations, we may feel, because it's all about feeling. It's not just saying the words. It's feeling the words. It's the feeling behind the words that create the manifestation. And so all of a sudden, if I'm praying in a prayer and I'm starting to pray, argumentative prayer. I was in doubt. I was standing in this position. I was taking this on. It seemed too much to me. I was doing my prayers for and about the community. And what I was doing is I was throwing through everything, and I started to say, we have everything we need in this community. All of our needs are met. And then at that point, I was like, I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers don't say that. So part of my being is holding on to the idea that that reality that I'm seeing isn't true. So the argumentative part of the prayer gets to go, I see you, doubt. I see you, fear. I acknowledge that there's something here. There's an energy here that's holding me back, that's blinding me, that's putting a veil over my eyes for seeing the truth and the reality that we do live in an abundant universe. That is argumentative prayer, that I'm speaking directly to the doubt. I'm using the energy of my fear, of my possible overwhelm, of my not knowing, even though I know. I speak to the part of me that doesn't know from the part of me that does know. That's argumentative prayer. Anyway, get in class. We'll teach more about that in class. But it's there for you. This is why we're talking about doubt. This is why it's important. Here's a quote from Ernest Holmes. And then I have a story, and then we'll be done. He says that the power of prayer is an affirmation so completely believed in that there is no longer any conscious or subconscious denial of it. When your prayer treatment arrives at a complete acceptance, it will be answered. So we can use that argumentative prayer to get our space and place and our energy and our whole being. We get to debut our doubt within our own spiritual practice. We get to speak directly to it and say, you have no power over me. But I can't say you have no power over me if I don't see it, I don't acknowledge it, or I just ignore it. Because then that has power, and that is what's calling forth this prayer. He goes on to say that he says, enter the closet of your mind. I say, enter a closet in your house. Go into your bathroom, close your door, be in a space, in a place where you can be as loud as you can without anyone interrupting you and being worried or calling the cops. Enter the closet of your mind, close the door, speak with complete authority. You are one with an infinite presence which can inspire, one with a universal law which can make it so. That's what's available to us. Okay, your story. Anyone watch the Kentucky Derby? Some, yeah. I can't say I'm a big Kentucky Derby fan because I'm an animal fan. But this year, y'all, last week, Saturday, the Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs. Let's pull up a video.
There he is. There he is. He's already starting to move now down the backside. He was 5 or 6 behind the last horse. Great ground-saving trip by Jose Ortiz. Sometimes when you're that far back, Mike, that everybody makes their decision already, and you're left a lot of open lanes. Now he'll shift him out as he knows he's going to run into trouble if he doesn't, and he takes aim on his brother. And what a tremendous kick by Golden Tempo.
That's a lot of ground to make up in the stretch of the Kentucky Derby. He's 7 or 8 points back at the top of the stretch still.
The numbers on how far he ran are going to be amazing, right? Wow. And This is the pedigree of this horse. He has been dead last or second to last in almost every race he's run, but made a charge like this at a moment like this. A historic moment, Dick Luck.
Truly, Mike.
Golden Tempo. 23-1 odds. If you heard the last couple of races, he came in last or dead last. There's so many wonderful stories for what happened on that day. First of all, Irad and Jose Ortiz, brothers and two thoroughbred horse jockeys. They've been to the Kentucky Derby combined 19 times. I've lost 19 times. And Irad had the best chance of winning. He was on Renegade. He was a betting favorite. Jose was on the long shot, Golden Tempo, 23-1 odds. But it was a storybook finish. He came from behind. He round up, and you know who came in second? His brother. First, second. Crazy, right? Here's another aspect of it. Here's a picture. This is Sherry Duvall. She was the trainer of Golden Tempo, the first woman in 152-year history of Kentucky Derby to train a winning horse. She'd been in the horse field for many, many years, and she actually worked as an assistant trainer for over a decade before betting on herself in 2018 and opening in her own stable. And with just 8 horses, this was her first Derby, and she won. And do you know what she said in the winning circle? She said, "I'm here to let you know, and to let women know, and to let all of us know, really, that we can do anything we set our mind to. We can do anything we set our mind to." But it isn't that they didn't have doubt, right? Let's just know. They bumped up against. They kept showing up. They kept coming back. There is a passion. There's a driving force. There's something that's calling these individuals forward, and there's something that's calling us forward. One last picture. You've probably seen this meme before, too. Somebody giving up right when they're about to reach the diamond. Take that into your awareness. Know and know for us and with us that we are here as a spiritual community to hold you. That we know that this is a space and a place that we get to debut our doubt. And then it doesn't have to fear. We don't have to fear that we're less than, and that somehow our questioning shows any kind of weakness or lack of belief. Nothing is further from the truth. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. It is often the very ground in which faith takes roots and grows. And by exploring our doubts together, we invite curiosity, humility, and deeper trust in our spiritual lives. And so it is. So this is our time of giving. We are going to pass our baskets. We're going to have our wonderful music to sing us, and we get to dance to. We get to acknowledge this truth that we are abundant beings, and that we are the space and place in which this abundance flows through, and that we have the opportunity to gift and to seed and to imbue our faith in the knowingness that all is well, that all is given, and that we are grateful. We acknowledge our TPL members as they're coming up on the screen. Thank you in advance for your giving.
There was a time in our life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say.
I release Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release. Come on. For God, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you, Meredith. So how wonderful it is to receive the gifts, to receive all that is poured forth in Throne as this day, this moment, that continues to source and fuel and fund this community and our individual lives, that we are in partnership, that we are in divine relationship with this beautiful presence that I call God, this loving expression, this infinite and eternal givingness and receptivity, that this is a beautiful dance that we get to live, and I'm grateful to dance it with you, and so it is. Do we have any individuals that are first-time guests here for the first time? We have an individual right here, JC, and we have another individual behind. We have a gift for you, that's all. Yeah. Just a gift. You can fill out the paper if you'd like to fill it out. We have another individual back there next to Mark. And maybe somewhere else. Thank you, everyone, for online, for joining us. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday. Well, we have birthday coming. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to all that are joining online. And we're about to acknowledge our May birthdays. So any individual that has a birthday in May, come on up next to this birthday cake as we sing to you.
Happy birthday to ya. 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 Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. We love you, we see you, we're grateful for you. There was a sparkler, for those who didn't see, it was upside down, and we had to have the full pyrotechnics, so I turned it around. Enjoy our last song in honors of Mother's Day. Yes. We honor our mothers with one song, and then we have our closing song.
If I could, I'd protect you from the sadness in your eyes, give you courage in a world of compromise. Yes, I would, if I could. I would teach you all the things I've never learned, and I'd help you cross the bridges that I burned. Yes, I would, if I could. I would try to shield your innocence from time, but the part of life I gave you is in mine. I'll watch you grow so I can let you go. If I could, I would help you make it through the hungry years. But I know that I could never cry your tears, babe. But I would if I could. If I could, in a time and place where you don't want to be there. You don't have to walk along this road with me. My yesterday won't have to be your way. If I knew, I'd try to change the world I brought you to. Now there isn't much more that I can do, but I would if I could. If I could, I would try to shield your innocence from time, but the part of life I gave you is in mine. I'll watch you grow so I can let you go. If I could, I would help you make it through the hungry years. But I know that I can never cry your tears. But I would if I could. Ooh. If I could. Happy Mother's Day.
What on earth? Oh my goodness. What? How blessed are we? Right? What the? You make it look so easy. You just make it look so easy and move us so well. Thank you so much. Thank you. I know that came from the deepest part of the soul of you, singing to your beloved son as well. So I'm going to make you cry because I like when she cries. So I invite all of our ministers and practitioners up to the stage. We're going to do our closing song. Yes, acknowledge them. Thank you, Reflections. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, Antonio and Christina. For our mothers, we have our beloved children from the youth center. We'll be handing you some roses, just a little beauty to show how much we appreciate and love and recognize you and all that you do in this world. Mr. Carl, will you give us a lasered spiritual mind treatment? Because I went over.
So on this beautiful Mother's Day, this is what I know. All there is, everywhere, always, is Spirit. This incredible, infinite, loving presence that is in all things, all actions, all experiences. To know that, to really know that, to feel that deep down makes me tingle inside with joy, with love, with beauty, with wisdom, with health. And each of us are unique beings brought to life by our loving mothers, brought into this world to be ourselves, to be our beautiful selves, to thrive, to grow, to share, to prosper. As we go out in the world today, we bring that love with us. We bring that joy with us. We bring that health, that prosperity, that wisdom as we express ourselves to honor our mothers, to honor our earthly mothers, our divine mothers, this maternal, divine feminine that is everywhere, that is in all of us, to honor that with our actions, with our words, with our thoughts, every step of the way, to know how beautiful we each are, each of us, knowing that this is already so, that the world is beautiful, that each of us is beautiful. Our release is the law, and so it is.
And so it is. Let's all stand for our final song. This is my wish. This is my wish for the world. The peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Happy Mother's Day. Bye.
Okay. We have our practitioners set up in the back. If anybody was looking for prayer, they're ready and available to greet you, to meet you, to hold you.